presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Ben in San Jose. Ben, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I just wanted to thank you and your team and everything. I've been using your technique with the 10-minute charts, watching the VIX, and just making a fortune here on the futures.
Isn't it interesting? That's awesome, man.
It's wonderful. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great week, folks. Be impeccable with your word. Replace fear with love. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. When you're impeccable with your word, your mind is no longer a fertile ground for the words that come from fear. Your mind is only fertile for the words that come from love. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 503, NASDAQ off 253, S&P's off 80, gold contract trading down $29.20 at $17.80 an ounce. We have silver down 84 cents, $22.40 an ounce. Light sweet crude down 266, $77.33 a barrel. Notes and bonds. A 10-year note down 25 ticks, trading out of the price point of 113.27. The 30-year is off 29 at a price point of 128. We have the 10-year right now, folks, yielding 3.59. So the low for the last 3 months is 3.189. The high is 4.2. You talk about a spread. That is one spread for a 10-year. And King Dollar up 717 ticks, trading 105.262. That rejected the lower price at a swing this morning. We'll see if that gets any strength behind it. The euro is at 104. The yen is out here at 136, and the British pound is at 121 to $1 US. Let's get over to our man, Mr. Dave Mazza, head of product and managing director at Direction. And you can come over to our website at TFNN, folks. You're going to see the banner right in the very top. You hit that banner. You go over to the Direction. They have a great newsletter, number one. They have the Exchange, which is a great newsletter. A lot of great information on their webpage. Dave Mazza, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy to be back.
Yeah, I tell you, it's pretty amazing. We've had a trader's market for so long right now. It's pretty cool. So what I'd love to talk about, Dave, today is, the trend has been going down on bonds, no doubt. We got a little bounce, but we have a lot of people that are trading their product inside the bonds. So it's always intriguing to me. You see it a lot more than I do, that, they're back into the nugget, of course, that's going up. And I guess these larger trends, that's when you can really see the momentum starts building. And inside the bonds, this trend has been pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I like your comment about a trader's market. We were actually talking about that this morning, is that taking a huge step back, if we look at equity market volumes, there's been a regime shift. So obviously we know the spike happened when everyone was forced to stay at home and meme stocks and all that. But volumes have been consistent. And what we're now seeing, and I think as you're alluding to, is we're beginning to see a rotation out of people just trading the technology-related spaces and looking again back at areas that had been out of favor. Now, gold mining stocks, as we know, have a relatively high beta to the price of gold itself. Energy stocks have a beta to oil, Brent crude, WTI, what have you. But the other interesting thing is, as whether it's your Gold Report or others, man, the dollar just had been so strong.
Right.
And just when we were, I think, seeing some reprieve on long rates, kind of pushing the dollar back down, helping gold. Look at today. Commodities are getting smoked. The dollar's rallying in a flight to safety again. But we are seeing a lot of activity in TMF and TMV. And these are our their 3x bull and bear funds on essentially TLT, or the long bonds, so 20+ year treasuries.
Right.
And boy, if you think about this in duration space, you take a 20 or 25+ year maturity or duration, triple that. So the moves that you can see even on the fixed income market are great. And I love the indicator here of looking at really the flows and assets in both of them to see, hey, are bulls and bears winning? Obviously, performance-wise, bears on bonds have been winning, but last couple of weeks, we've seen this massive inversion in the yield curve, and that's created a ton of opportunity for trading on the long side.
And you know what's so cool, folks and Dave? What I love, right, is that what happens, folks, is in your trading career, when you start really getting used to different vehicles, it's just a lot better. And that's what I've seen this morphed into. I mean, and it's really cool in the context, because I between the dollar and bonds, I think that runs quite a bit of the market. So when I was looking at this the last couple of weeks, Dave, it's really cool that we have traders now getting in there because they understand them, right? So it's like, okay, man, because the difference going forward is huge. I mean, when we first started, just like you said, we have the Qs, they have the SPYs, we get oil. And when I start seeing this move into the bonds, both ways, mind you, okay? And, it's like, okay, this is cement, to me, this is cemented in the market now. Literally, do you know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that whether, people, I don't know if they're hedging for their own portfolio. I just know there's a lot more action in them, and there's a lot more understanding inside of the bond market. And of course, they can use your products no matter which way they're on. But you can see I think the education value has gone up tremendously in general. You know what I mean? So
yeah, which is great. And here's something I'll note. So, most people think about trading just in the stock market, right? That's where either the volatility is,
yes,
or interest or opportunity. You can't ignore fixed income. Maybe, as maybe ever, but especially now, because we're in a different world, right? We're not in a world where interest rates are just pinned to zero,
right,
and central bankers are incentivized to keep them to zero. They're now, whether we like it or not, whether you think Powell's doing a good job or a bad job, he's very clear, we're raising rates. And moving from 75 to 50, that's great, but it's still a hike. It's not a cut. So I'm personally in a camp that we might be higher for longer interest rates. I'm not saying we're going to the Fed funds rate at 10 or something, but they're probably going to inch up to 5. They have to fight inflation. They've made it very clear. All that does is creates volatility. Volatility is opportunity for traders. In index, I'm not sure how much you spend time talking about this on the show, but there's what's called the MOVE index. It's essentially a volatility index for fixed income. Just like the VIX, the MOVE is spiked. And when the MOVE, which is a great name, when that's on the move, then if you're looking for trading opportunities, that's when you can look at your TMF and TMV. Take the bull, take the bear, what have you. But man, with rates on the move, you got opportunities ahead of you.
Look at this education, folks. Dave, you just put a light bulb on my head. I didn't know about the move, man. And I haven't had a light bulb go on for about 12 years. Because it's so cool. Because when you're in it a long time, it's just, thank you, man. That is so cool. Unreal.
Take a look.
Listen, look forward to speaking in 2 weeks, Dave.
Sounds good. Talk soon.
Thank you. Stay right there, folks.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now trading down 496. You get the Nasdaq off 258. S&Ps are off 79. Let's get over to our man, Mr. Steve Rhodes, as we do each and every Monday at 20 past the hour. And don't forget, folks, Steve does an outstanding show here every trading day, 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. Also has a great newsletter, Mastering Probability. Now, it's very easy to get Steve's newsletter, folks. Come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see hit newsletters. It's going to be right on the right-hand side top. You can get Mastering Probability for 1 month for $149. You can get it for 6 months at a price point of $695, which is a savings of $199 at 22%. And you can get it for 1 year for $1195, which is a savings of $593 at 33%. Now, they all come, folks, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can check it out. If you like it, keep it. And on top of that, Steve has a huge amount of archives out here that get you to understand exactly how he looks at the market each and every day. Steve Rhodes, what's going on?
Well, I am still defrosting from my trip up to New York City this past 5 days out there. I certainly like the 84-degree temperature better than 48.
And gray.
And gray. Well, you know, we had some nice clear skies a couple of days.
Okay, good.
But you know, so kind of so it was a friend of mine's wedding that was supposed to be 3 years ago.
Nice.
And you know, they finally, you know, with COVID and everything, they finally were able to pull it off. But so I have my bucket list. I thought it'd be nice to go see the Christmas tree lighting in Rockefeller Center.
Yes.
I've done the ball drop many years ago, had a blast doing that. So I figured, well, as long as we're going up, let's make sure that we can take that in. But the plane ride up there, Tom, you know, we've heard about delays and everything. We get there on time. Supposedly it was on time. 3 hours late. We're flying into LaGuardia. This is last Wednesday, kind of late in the afternoon. And you know how bad of a plane ride it is when you land and everybody starts clapping.
Yep.
I mean, big applause. So, but glad to be back.
You were hitting that turbulence. Yeah, there's some, you know, I went to Boston just for the night to have a dinner with one of my friends, and the pilot was talking about sometime this part of the year, there's turbulence up there, taking off and landing. Yeah, right.
Absolutely. I was, 50-mile-per-hour type winds or what have you. But, it's one of those times where, you're committed and you're coming down and, and the plane's going sideways up and down. And I've got 3 million miles that I've flown on Delta.
You're committed to stay alive, Steve Rhodes. That's
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I was trying to get everybody to lift their windows up. If it's going to be the end, I want to to see it.
Totally. I love it.
But anyway, so look, the S&P 500, as we know, we've talked about this from time to time. It's entered its bullish seasonal cycle, which typically forms in the middle of October. And that's the little red arrow that is on our screen here. This is a chart courtesy of the folks over at SeasonX. And this is take a look at 72 years worth of data for the S&P 500 out here. So we know that we're in the favorable seasonal cycle. And therefore, the Santa Claus rally is intact. I'll use the words here at the moment, though.
Yeah.
And the reason I use at the moment is because if we take a look at last week's price action, the S&P 500 hit the top of this descending trend line. And this is the descending trend line that really shows the bear market, in essence, that we have been in. So if the Santa Claus rally is really going to unfold, price has got to close above, I'll use last week's high, 4,100. Certainly you can say just to close above the descending trend line, but we'll just use last week high at this moment out there. So close above 4,100 would then say, okay, the Santa Claus rally is in fact intact, but right now we're dealing with the trend line resistance. And so if price is hitting trend line resistance, the question is, has the S&P 500 topped? So to answer that question, I always like to turn to the stock market patterns. You mentioned that subscribers to my newsletter service will get loads of archives that will take a look at the different top and bottoming patterns, some which we'll talk about here right now. So this is the daily chart for the S&P 500. And what this shows, and there's multiple A to B equals CD patterns out here, but this shows a completed 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD pattern. Now, I know somewhere in your book, The Art of Timing the Trade, you've got something in it. Now, I don't know if it's the 1 to 1.618, Tom, or is it the 1 to 2?
No, it's the 1 to 1.618, yeah. And sometimes they go 1 to 2, but once you hit 1 to 6.18, immediate change of trend, right?
Oh, all right. So what you and I now know is the S&P 500 owns your book.
Yeah.
Because it hit the 1 to 1.618 perfectly last week on Wednesday. Or Thursday, that is, and obviously we've backed off. And so now the reason I use the word completed with regard to completing the A to B equals CD pattern, because people can see the 1-to-1 here with this tool that I've got at the 1 to 1.272 level and the 1 to 1.68. The reason I use the word completed is because for me the pattern completes when it generates a reversal candle. In this case here, because the market's been moving higher, we're looking for a bearish reversal candle. And today, unless there's some major rally in the next 37 minutes out here, today we should see a bear sash candle for the S&P 500. And Tom, that's where I would take a look at as completing the 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD pattern. Now, oftentimes, instruments, I had mentioned there's multiple A to B equals CD patterns, so I showed the smaller one. Here's the larger one, which hasn't really, and this had a price projection or has a price projection of 41.18. So if we do get a close above last week's high, price will then go ahead and target that 41.18 level, maybe even make more than a 1-to-1 larger A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. So how do we know if today is a top or if today is just a retracement? That's really the question that each of us should be asking. And for that, what I do is I turn to the TAS market profiles. And we move from the S&P 500 chart, and then I move over to the ES Mini, so the S&P futures chart. And the yellow arrows here, Tom, that I'm showing everybody, show the bottom of new profiles as they form. And what people should see here is that if they're asking themselves, where is the buy the dip point out here? Well, we can see it as price hits the bottom of those profiles. That is where the buyers are lined up. So this is the ES Mini. This is the daily time frame chart out there. And here we see that these lows have held. So the bottoms of these profiles have held since the October lows. So we will know that there's a change in trend if we see a close below the bottom of the daily profile for the ES Mini. So the number that folks should write on their pad of paper is 39.39. If we see a close below 39.39, obviously something will have been different since the October lows, and we can say officially that there would be a change in trend inside the S&P 500. That's what will help us to identify whether this is just a retracement, because pulling back to support is a normal thing. Just like we did here in about the middle of November, price was pulling back. Maybe it looked like, okay, it was over, but all that price was really doing was testing support. So really critical area, this 39.39 level. Now, as far as the other indices go, if we take a look at this, I've got the S&P in the upper left, the NASDAQ in the upper right, which hasn't even gotten to the trend line. The Dow most certainly is above the trend line. And the Russell 2000 closed just above it last week, but it looks like perhaps this is a false breakout to the upside out there. No, in the case of the Dow, with it being above the its descending trend line, that's really about global capital flows. And this chart here shows the global capital flows for the Dow priced in euros, pounds, and yen. The purple line out here shows the actual high in reference to when the high was made inside the Dow priced in dollars. We can see that those highs have been taken out, priced in euros, yen, and pounds out there. So the Dow is also generating a topping pattern today, and this is what I refer to as the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. And this is so we've got tops in the S&P, we've got tops in the Dow, and now it's really critical is to watch those levels of support. So I gave you the level for the ES Mini, for the Dow or the YM.
39.39.
33,429. That's the price point to watch.
Pretty cool. Folks, come over to our website at TFNN. Newsletters. You'll see maximum probability on the right-hand side. Hit that button. You are off to the races. Have a great one and safe one. Look forward to the show tomorrow, Steve.
Thanks, Tom. Take care.
Thank you. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 539. Nasdaq's off 262. S&Ps are off 83. And, you know, Steve just gave us a beautiful rundown. And it's amazing to me, folks. So when we look at that S&P, I'm just going to put it in so you can see it. Because it's so clean, you know, this line here is so clean, and I've always like, okay, how does this work, man? I mean, does the market really know? I mean, look at this. I'm going to open this up for a little. Like, does it really know that it's coming right back to that trend line? Well, sure enough, it is, man. I mean, this is about as clean as you can get. So it's going to be a total mind blower, you know, as we pull back here to see where the pullback's going to be. The reason I'm saying that is, you can see from this is that, what do we have? You have lower highs and you have lower lows. That's how this is set up right now. Now, what did happen, let me show you this. I brought this up on Friday. Because we did such a dramatic up in the market, when you do more than a 0.618 on the way up, which we did, you can see we almost got to 7.6. That normally says that you can do a double bottom. Now, what we have out here today, yes, we're pulling back with light volume. So right now, this is under control. But Steve lined that up really well, man, to show, remember that 39.39 number, folks, because the bottom line is you get under that number, the next number under that goes quite a bit. Let's go take a look at Salesforce for a couple of the tigers out here. And this guy's got his hands full. What happened today, first his top dog resigned last week. And today the CFO of Slack, which they bought for a fortune, resigned. Okay, so bottom line, this is blowing through bottoms in a monster way. And yeah, don't touch this thing, man. Here, let me give you a number on this. This is like sick. So you got 134 up here. God. You get, this wants to go like $100. Let me see what's at $100. So that swing point is, yeah, I wouldn't be touching this. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but the next swing is 113, but this is saying it wants to go to $100. Now, the way I got the $100, let me show you this. When you break a consolidation, all I did here is I took the top and I took the bottom, and you're breaking it with volume. I took this, then you subtract this from the bottom. It's pretty consistent. So that is a problem child in a monster way. And the thing that's amazing, I mean, this was an equity just in the last year. It was 270, and the low is today. And then let's put this back, though. Look at this. This has been a straight line move down since 311. And they got a good system. I mean, we've used the system. I haven't used it in years now, but it's not that expensive. It's a subscription-based system. They have a lot. I'm sure they have a lot of different systems, but the bottom line is it's a decent system. What also has happened, and that's what I suspect, though, is that as there's a lot of different ways and a lot of different systems that you don't even have to pay for. That's what's also happening. Because what happens is it's very efficient, but for the time that you have to put into the system every single day, it just didn't work for me. That's the bottom line. Let's go take a look at the, oil. If we go let's take a look at oil first. So you get oil trading 77.30. We got 323,000 contracts. So this is going to go after its lows. If it breaks, breaks the 76.42 again, then 68 is game again. My take is that the 60 is a game. Let me look at this for a second, because this wants a lot lower price. See, the way that the gas cap works also, folks, okay, this is something to wrap your head around, right? Right now, Russia is selling oil, who knows, $45, $50 a barrel, okay? Because what ends up happening is that, it's sanctioned, people want to get around it, they're going to take the chance, and what they do when they do that is that the bottom line is that, they want a monster discount. So, Putin might be saying that, he doesn't want $60 a barrel, but I suspect he's going to take $60 a barrel all day long because of the fact what happens then is that it's non-sanctioned oil. It's a lot easier to move. And when he's already taken underneath that, And if we've learned anything, these oil future prices, folks, and I brought this up, 2.5, 3 years ago, when I actually met a physical oil dealer that lives in my neighborhood. He was explaining to me, man. I mean, it's just not what we think it is. That's the reality. That is this price here. The future price is the future price. It's not the reality. It's, what this is like? To me, this is a much larger picture, though. But this is what also happens. Let's say when you're buying real estate, right? And people have that price, and that's the price, right? Well, let me tell you, and I've done this a dozen times. Okay, you got that price, no problem. Well, do you want to take, 10% tomorrow, and you get a cash deal, and you get it in 30 days? Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. So the price is the price until it's not the price. And that's what we're dealing with. So if you get over, we take a look at Exxon's taking, I think they're all taking it today. Exxon's coming down to the bottom of its consolidated. It already broke it. Okay, so, bottom line, this is, I said many times, right? What ends up happening, the market gives you so many times to get out. It's unbelievable. So this has been topping out now since October 31st. You can see, and these are the ones I love. And what I mean by that is that when you take the top, and I have this in Time in the Trade, and you take the bottom, right? So watch this. Your first high up there had volume of 14 million. The first low had volume of 20. Now, right there, it tells you that there's more sellers than buyers. The next high had 17. The next high had 7. And then you come down with 26 million. And then today we're doing 14 million. You're breaking all of it. 14's breaking 20. Now, once this is broken, this thing is going to get down to like 101 in about a heartbeat. That's what you can see. See in the middle there, there's nothing in the middle to hold this thing up. That's how it works, So it has to come into a congestion. CVG, let me see how Chevron's doing. CVX, rather. So that's down $5. Same setup. Chevron wants to run down to 166. Same type of high, too. More volume on the way down than on the way up, especially when you go along those channel lines. That makes a huge deal, the aspect of, and it's cool, folks, when they stay there for a long period of time, because you get a better example of many days, and so you can see quite clearly that you kept hitting highs and the volume kept dying. But that's not enough to tell you, okay, that wants to go down. What happens is that when they get down to the bottom of it, and the bottom expands with volume coming across, that's saying that, hey, one of the big dogs are getting out. Could be two big dogs, who knows? But the bottom line is that you get the gist of it. That wants lower price. We have the Dow right now trading down 486, Nasdaq's off 236, S&P's off 75, gold's off 29, silver's off 85, and dollars keeps wanting higher price. It's up 807 right now. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 533, Nasdaq's off 256, S&Ps are off 81. And don't forget, folks, this is the week of the Tiger Dollar sale. The way this Tiger Dollar sales, we do them twice a year. In this particular case, what you can do, Tiger Dollars, first off, are good at all product at TFNN, totally transferable, no restrictions whatsoever, no expiration. The way it works, if you have any product at TFNN, you want to save some money. If you look to get product in the future, you want to save some money. It's a very efficient way of doing it. So the way Tiger Dollars work is that the bonuses that are involved go like this. If you can buy $500 worth of Tiger Dollars, we give you 6, which is a 20% bonus. You can buy 1,000, and we give you 1,200, which is a $200 bonus, a $300 bonus rather, or 30%. And the max is you can buy 1,500, and we give you a $600 bonus, 2,100. That's a $40 bonus. And in this particular case, you get that, but you're going to see the nice Tiger mugs we just got a bunch of Tiger mugs to give out with these also. So check it out on the front page of TFNN. Let's get over, and we are going to talk to Mike in New Hampshire. Hey, Mike, what's going on, brother?
Well, I'm looking at Amethyst, and it's a stock that I want to hold forever.
Okay.
And it's a young startup, but the CEO is experienced. The stock's had a run to 27, and it's come back down. And I'm wondering if it can come as low as 376, where it hit a bottom, and I want to buy more.
Okay, cool. So tell me why you like this stock so much. Fundamentally.
Well, because the revenues can continue to grow.
Yep.
They're in the right business, zero carbon fuel. They've got all kinds of contracts with JetBlue and other companies in Los Angeles and San Francisco airports. They're in India at full capacity.
Nice.
I see it as a growing company.
So what does this mean by they have engineered bacterium capable of converting whole plant materials into sugars that can be used to make...
Yeah, they take methane and other stuff from farms.
Okay.
And they convert it into a zero-carbon fuel.
Nice. I got it. Okay. I got it. Cool. Okay, man. I got it. You can see why you want to hold it forever, because that business is just starting. Okay. So let's take a look. So we have a low for the year, 445, high 1721. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So I'm going to put this on a weekly first.
And McAfee's got a lot of experience.
Okay, nice. You got 461. Okay, so it already filled the gap. So your question is that can it come down to 445 again? Is that the question?
No, down to 376.
376 with a... I don't... it can. I mean, that's for sure. But this is a decent setup, Now, let's see. When did that happen? So it got strength last July, right? We picked up last July. But see, this is so subtle, but this is really cool, folks, when you see this. Let me pull this up here. Now, watch this. So the first leg, you can see, in July it had strength, right? It pulls back down, and so watch this. We come in to strength with 2.6 million versus going up with 3.7, right? Now see this little one right there? See it goes back up on 6, and then it goes back down on 2. I always love those. So what happens here, folks, is this. When you get accumulation happening, most times, a big fund's that's a fund getting in or someone getting in, okay? They got it up, it come back down, and then they're saying, hey, man, I'm going to take a little bit more right here. And then even this on Friday was like, you see, this thing's popping when it goes higher. I mean, this does not have to go down to that number because it already filled the gap. The gap was 461, went to 455, So I'd be nibbling here because what also happens, and this is probably if you bought low-price stocks, Mike, what happens with a low-price stock, folks, you can't take a stock that's $5.11 and, put a 10% stop on it. It's just, you got to wrap your head around that. That's not the way it goes, man. Do you know what I mean? Because 50 cents is nothing. I'm just bringing this up, Mike, in general, because I've seen too many people when they buy a low-price stock, they'll still go a percentage on the stock, and I've found that you can't do that. Meaning, if you buy a $5 stock, you got to be willing to almost take $1 to $1.50. You know what I'm saying? In general, particularly if you're going to accumulate this and have this for 5 or 10 years. So I don't think that's in a bad spot right now myself.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have a buy-in at 405.
Okay. Well, I mean, the way you can do this, right, is that you can see that this is a bad market today. That's down a little, but not much, right? This market looks to me, I don't think it's going to recover tomorrow. I mean, I would just watch the market because what will end up happening is that when the market's down like this, folks, nothing's going to be up, particularly going towards the end of the year. You got to remember something. Towards the end of the year, there's plenty of people that were saying, okay, I just want a little bit higher so I can sell and I can do my tax deal and a whole ball of wax. If this market keeps falling just a bit, it's going to accelerate with volume. If it accelerates with volume, you very well could get the price you want. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as soon as it turns, I think that stock's going to turn with it, man. That's the way it seems to be set up. And there is definitely a buyer. Let me do this. 1 second. AMTX. Let's see who's into this. If someone is. So I'm pulling up. Okay, so latest buys. There you go right here. Millennium Management. Okay, so that was September 30th. Here's another September 30th. Bridgeway Capital. There's another September. Yeah, you got buyers here, man. These are all new. Oh, well, actually, they're adding on. See these ones right here? September 30th, September 30th. You got a lot of them, man. Holy cow. Now let's just look at the sellers. Okay, you got sellers too. You'd have to look at this, but this matchup, it's this is a tug of war here. That's what it is, yeah. Because you get State Street was selling. Yeah, okay, 1.2 million. Let me just see this again. The top. Yeah, you had a little more selling than buying here. You can see this when I shift back and forth. There was a little more selling, And it had to do with State Street right there at the top. They own 1.72% of it. So what does happen with State Street, just so you know, and I follow these guys all the time, they don't sell just once, If State Street, Fidelity, Mass Mutual, they either go in or go out. You know what I mean? It'll take them a while. But maybe, that's September 30th. We're already dealing with, February 5th. You know what I mean? So, I think you're in pretty good shape, man. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
Cooking, man.
All right, well, have a great holiday, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Have a great one, a safe one.
Yep.
Dow right now, let's look at these indice volumes, because what's been happening, folks, is at the end, the volumes have been picking up pretty expensive. So at 587, that doesn't look like it's going to be volume, man. And on the NASDAQ, you're at 3.8. No, there's not going to be volume. You're going to have a lower price without volume again. So, if we if we don't get volume tomorrow, if we go lower tomorrow and don't get volume, my take is we're going to go lower tomorrow. But if we don't get an expansion with volume, get ready to buy everything, man, because that's just something's going to happen to go bum. If we have an expansion of volume, that lower point is game. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. And folks, don't forget about the Tiger's Den. So we have an amazing trading room. It's only $1 for the year. And listen, it's a great room. People know how to trade. Fundamentally, technically, they know the whole ball of wax. But on top of that, we have a great community, man. I mean, we're all, traders in general, we're all over the country, and like we're all together. And, when I just received that call there, right, it's so cool because the bottom line, they gave me a heads up. So check this out. When we actually take a look at this, we were just talking about there, the aspect of AMTX, right? Well, the bottom line is that, when Mike called, the Tigers are listening. And this is so cool, Mike. So check this out. If you sell, and thanks, Jimmy, for putting this up, you can sell right now an AMTX. Now watch this. You can sell the January 5s for 60 cents. And that's selling the puts. So the bottom line, you want to buy it anyway, right? So you can sell that, and if it comes down to it, you're going to get put to it, and you're going to own it at $4.40. And guess what? If it stays where it is, you collect the 60 cents. So check that out if you do options. And then the let's see, RV. And then there was a question about the competitors. So this list here, these are all the competitors in this business. I got a symbol that you can see these up if you take a picture of it or something. The bottom line is these are the competitors in that same business. So, you know, check it out. Come over to the Tigers Den, folks. It's a great trading room, man. I mean, it's actually more than a trading room. It's an investing room. I mean, if you really want to understand fundamentally, technically, and have a good time, guess what? It's a real community, and we have a blast. People take care of each other. I mean, it's a cool scene. Market-wise out here, bottom line is that you're going to pull back with light volume, you know? So we'll see, you know, if you get some real fireworks. To me, there's never real fireworks until you get volume, because this is still telling me this market wants higher price. But that's cool because, you know, bottom line, we can do a 0.38 true retracement, then move higher. That's a normal market that wants to move higher. Have a great night, folks. Have a safe night. Come back and visit Tommy tomorrow morning. Kicks us off 9 a.m. Great show, folks. Go get 'em, folks.